This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints. Discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, welcome to... It's not a top 10. It's not a top 10. I said I'd never do a top... Actually, it's kind of a top 10, but I said I'd only do like 2 a year, okay? I wanted to do at the midpoint here of 2020 and redo my top 10 games of all time. And the reason for that is some of the things that, because of what's going on in the world, I've been able to experience a lot of different games that normally I wouldn't play. I think the abundance of what's not out there made me go back and look at things that I had purchased and sat. I mean, I have over 2,000 games, and just seeing a ton of it in wrappers and stuff like that, I'm going, why am I doing this? Why don't I start really delving into some of the stuff that I have? A lot of it ended up in the top 50, some of the things I played. And I was right to pick it up. So I was quite happy about that. So at the end of the year, when we do this again in 6 months, I'm going to do another top 50. And I think the way to do it is you know, at the end of the year and see how much it changed from my top 109, which we did last year. Just in that time, there's been some changes, and I'm surprised at how my top 10 has changed. We have new entries, and I think it's because of how I play things and how I've done things and how I've gone through things a little bit more thorough during this very difficult time for all of us. So without further ado, why don't we take a look at my new, as of July, top 10 of all time. Okay, I'm going to put on the cover top games of all time. There you go. And number 10 is a game that makes its first crack into the top 10. It is a game that I absolutely fell in love with, and my son and I play a lot off camera. We've built a ton of stuff for it, and we're having a blast with it. And we play more off camera than we do on camera, and that's Warcry. I thought Warcry was absolutely fantastic. The simplicity, taking your warband, how you can upgrade your warband, the different ways you can play, the unbelievable combinations of terrain and events is just mind-boggling. It truly is something very unique and a nice twist on things. It's everything you wanted Necromunda and Mordheim to be, and it's done a fantastic job with it, and I am just really thrilled and enjoy playing Warcry. At number 9 is a game that will probably always be on the top 10, but it kind of is on the fringe of going out, which is kind of weird, and that's Space Hulk. I don't have to say too much more than that. Space Hulk is one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely, you know, to put it in the top 10 with all the games that I have, it means a lot to me. And we break it out on the channel here and there, but I really love this game. At number 8 is an all-time favorite, but I think this will go up by the end of the year. Just by some of the things that I've been working on as far as being able to play this game solo, really stands out. But it is a game that you play with a group, and that's kind of hard. So where it was in my top 3 for the longest time, now, you know, on my own, it's down to number 8, and that's Blood Bowl. But the way they are supporting this game with all the new pitches, all the new teams, I'm completely still in love with this game. I don't think I can ever stop loving this game. I'm trying a solo league at some point. I think it can be done. I think I can have a nice fun tournament and enjoy it. I have the trophy, and you know, there's a lot of different things I can do, and I'm really excited to kind of toy with this and see what I can do with it. At number 7 is a game that if you don't love this game, I don't know, then you just don't love any kind of mech game whatsoever. And that's Battletech. I think Battletech is a phenomenal experience. I love painting the mechs. Painting the mechs is almost half as much fun as playing the game. I just have always had something for this. The old school hexagon game and how it plays, and I'll tell you, I really enjoy playing Battletech, and it will always be in my top 10. And number 6 is something new. Number 6 is a game that I really love, and it's a print and play game of all things. I'm going to call this one 4 Against. It could be either Darkness, it could be against Fear, it could be against Mars. I love everything that they do with this game and the support. 4 Against Darkness is just a tremendous role-playing experience, and the way that you get to play this and it plays out, it's just something that, you know, you can play by yourself, you have somebody play with you, but I enjoy it by myself. I enjoy turning on the camera and sharing this with you, and we've played a lot of 4 Against Darkness, and each time has been a phenomenal experience. Speaking of print and plays, at number 5, that genius Martin Knight, dear God, D100 Dungeon is beautiful. He keeps adding to it, and he keeps reinventing what is, I consider, one of the best adventures I've played in a long time. I love playing this game. I should play it on camera more, but I find that I love the peace and quiet of playing it by myself, and I just love this game. I think it's phenomenal. It's something that you scratch your head and you go, wow, it seems so easy. Why didn't any of us think about this beforehand? And yet he brought this genius. Martin has put this together and just made a fantastic experience. Can you imagine if Andrea and Martin got together and made a game? Wow. And number 4 is Warhammer Quest. Need I say more? I've got 2 copies of it. I have everything for it. I love this game. I found a couple of websites where there's some fantastic stuff that just keeps breathing life into a game that I can never get tired of, because it's just so great. It's so expensive to try to hunt down, but I'm telling you right now, Warhammer Quest is a phenomenal, beautiful, wonderful experience, and something I love and always will be in my top 5, let alone my top 10. So at number 3, we have a game that I played in a group a few times and really loved it. Went out and bought it, and then it sat there for quite a long time, 5 years almost to be exact. Then after that amount of time, I learned there was a solo component to it. And once I picked up that solo component and I broke open this box and started playing this game solo, it changed the entire game to me. This game rose so quickly, and I have played it over and over and over and over and over, and I can't stop playing it. I love it that much. And that's Xia. Xia is just a phenomenal experience. Legends of the Drift system. But you got to get the Embers expansion with it. And I lump it all together because all these components, you make this huge universe that you're just going around with so many dangers and so many things that you can do. You can never do the same thing twice. Almost, it's just this. You're telling a story as you play. It's just a phenomenal phenomenal experience. And I highly suggest it. If you don't have it, I suggest you go out and get it. Probably one of the best solo experiences I've had. And speaking of solo experiences, that brings us to number 2, and that is Nemo's War. Nemo's War was my number 1, and what splits these next 2 games up is by threads. Nemo's War is just phenomenal, and I love to break it out and play it here and there. Everything's right in front of you. One of my favorite experiences from Gen Con a few years ago. Also, another great experience was painting the miniature with the actual sub with Tina. We had such a great time doing that. It was just so much fun, and we just had a blast. But I love this game. It's so well produced. It's so much fun. And you're just on an adventure, and nothing like it. It's just phenomenal. At number 1 was a game that has been number 1, fell a bit, and then came right back. And I think it fell a bit because I wasn't playing it that much anymore. And then all of a sudden, recently, I started playing it a ton. And definitely one of my favorite games of all time. And that is Mage Knight. Mage Knight is phenomenal. Probably one of the best solo experiences I've had. It's really splitting hairs with that game. I really love this game, and Mage Knight is my number 1 game of all time. But if I keep on playing Xayah, I think that might change. We'll have to see. It's splitting hairs between these 3, the top 3: Xayah, Nemo, and Mage Knight. Just phenomenal games. Well, that's it. That's July. Let's see what happens in December, if anything changes with all the stuff I'm going through and all the stuff I just purchased. And can anybody crack this? This is a pretty solid list now. Only time will tell. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob.